Am I invisible?
On second thought, through here. I shall show you where the hunt plays out. Then we will split up. You will get hold of the unicorn horn and the golden fish. While I nab the phoenix egg. That will be quickest.
Golden fish. Do I need a rod or a net?
Please, Geralt. It's not a real fish. Look there, towards the water. See the lights? The hunters are trying to hook the fish from boats. You must simply dive in and find it.
The unicorn. How do I catch it?
It's terribly skittish, true, but I'm sure you will find a way to earn its trust. It runs around, over there, look. The golden fish and the horn both contain things or clues that will help us find Milton. Once you have fish and horn, find me among the other Phoenix Egg hunters. All clear? Then let's get to it.
This place is fancy as fuck.
Fiorano of the 1290 vintage. I do encourage you to try it.
If one were to call a state courageous or what other part of a state would one have to find?
But this is no true unicorn.
Perhaps an apple will work. Or some sweets.
We would not be in this predicament, dear sister, were you still a virgin.
Do you really wish to have this conversation again?
Shit.
Here and now?
Hush, or you'll spook the beast. We shall try the sweets.
Hey folks, gonna have to ruin your fun. Sorry.
Who's that?
Stupid ass Geralt, use axe. Go, unicorn.
Damn it. Come on, stay calm. Shh. Calm down. Easy now.
Well, that's hardly fair.
Flagrant cheating is what it is. Sirs, we must teach this scamp some proper sportsmanship.
Listen, I didn't break any rules.
True, he won fair and square.
We were unlucky, that's all. We must try to grab the next clue.
Yeah, you fuck pussies. The Jedi.
Gardens are huge. Be better off on horseback.
Unworthy. Entirely inappropriate behavior. A complete collapse of social...
Fire eater? Who is fighting?
Golden fish should be easy to spot once I'm under.
What the blazes?
Did someone just dive in the water?
Perhaps that's the way to do it.
Sure, if you're a pet.
What's up with this? Bitch.
Hey, wait. Stop. It's important.
Snap his neck. Throw him in the water.
King Cormorant, sire, accept this offering we bring. Prithee cast upon us your merciful eye, and bear before us its secrets.
As the moon is heavily coursed of trace, in my domain I await that moment of grace, when a soul of good or ill repute brings me a gift, fitting tribute.
Oh shit!
A key.
Why, you bombast wretch!
Girl doesn't give 2 fucks about that shit.
The light, it's positively useless. She can't possibly.
If you please, Your Grace.
We do not please. We act out of the highest necessity, or shall be explained later.
But it's against the rules.
I am the rules. Geralt! At last.
Got a key and a clue.
And I've another. Show me yours. Who wrote this drivel? I begin like a crone, hollowed out with ease, then end like a mouse, with a head of hard cheese.
Oh, okay.
Groans, hollows. Could be a cave, I guess.
Now that's just silly. Look, if we take groan, hollow it out and fill it with ease, the letters, that is, we get green. Then mouse, but starting with what heads heart cheese. Why, it's greenhouse!
Pretty clever. And it sounds right to me.
There are several greenhouses in the gardens, but only one with a door that locks, and the key to it looks just like the one we found.
Greenhouse it is then. Let's go.
These poem reading bastards.
Wait here.
Shit, they killed homie now.
What the butch?
What was that?
Damn.
I'm here.
This belonged to you, maybe?
It did, but you may keep it. I've a new one. I do not know you. I've done you no harm. Yet first you butchered a Bruxer who was dear to me. Now you pursue me. Why?
You've killed 4 innocent people, at least.
And you? How many innocents have you cut down?
Not here to talk about me.
Yet that is exactly what we are doing. So, did they send you after me? Who are they?
What do you mean, they? Duchess hired me. You've been murdering her subjects.
Is it as simple as that? I would ask you to convey to the Duchess that I've but one victim left, but you'll not get the chance.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Kill again.
Girl, she's fucking... raw butter. That'll make you feel better, Witcher. You just took the butter. Oh god, he's fucking scary, dude. All my shit. I've never had to hit
You want to stay where you are. Regenerate.
I know you're in trouble. I can help.
I'll help myself.
No, he's my friend.
Yes, Geralt, it's me.
Regis? You alright?
All is well. All's in order. Wounds such as these heal on vampires in moments. But we've not seen one another in ages, my friend. At least in human terms, that is.
How's this even possible? Last I saw you...
I was a bubbling, shapeless smear, having been rather spectacularly melted into a column of a certain castle. In somewhat better shape now, as you can see. Hardly peak form, mind you, but were I human, folk would think me a demigod, I dare say.
I'm sorry. What happened? It was my fault. Never got a chance to apologize.
No need, Geralt. Bygones. I did not have to join you on that expedition. No one twisted my arm.
You being here, not some fortunate coincidence, I take it.
Your powers of deduction seem to have waned not one bit. Unhappy. I came here for Dettlaff. I fear he's become entangled. Landed himself in serious trouble.
So that's his name. He's your friend?
You might call it that. Though Dettlaff is... how would you humans put it? More bestial than I am. But not to worry. I'm working on him.
Haven't exactly done a great job with that. He's killed one knight since I got here. At least 3 others before I arrived.
For good reason, I'm sure. Understand, Dettlaff is not some decadent shit who kills for sport, or to assuage a dryness of throat or a dullness of mood.
Seem pretty damn sure of that.
I am, because I know him very well. Despite appearances to the contrary, you two are quite alike. You've both noble hearts, yet you both are wont to perform ignoble deeds. When circumstances force you to, of course. Remember the year 964?
That was 3 centuries ago.
Blind fear gripped Rivia, Lyria, and Spala. Women and children were dying. Their mutilated, dismembered corpses littered the fields.
Brute of Lyria. Read about it. Chewed up almost 200, then fell to a common poacher supposedly armed with a dagger blessed by some prophet.
It fell to Dettlaff, who then found a poacher asleep in the brush near his snares and dropped the fiend's corpse at his feet. And thus, a legend was born.
Huh. Vampires rarely help humans. Must have had his own agenda, hunting the beast.
You err. He slew it for one reason alone. The monster killed a lad who once, in the street, had offered Dettlaff an apple, expecting nothing in return.
Terribly noble of him.
You do not have a monopoly on altruism, my friend. Vilgefortz melted my body. Dettlaff found what was left. As per our codex, he had a choice. To leave me where I was, or to care for me and nurture my remains. He chose the latter. Regenerated me at no small expense in his own blood. Do you know what that means to a vampire? The gravity of the endeavor?
Probably same thing it means to a human. You owe him your life.
Much more than that. The act itself made us blood brethren. A bond so strong humans cannot even imagine. Which is why I know something ill is afoot.
Always had an overdeveloped sense of empathy.
Each vampire has a unique talent. One they hone over centuries. It's precisely what renders us so difficult to classify. Dettlaff's trump card is his herd instinct. His tribal propensity. In point of fact, he prefers the company of lesser vampires and shuns that of humans. If he walks among you, killing egregiously, it can only mean something's upset him immensely.
Anything specific? Some set of things that'd be likely to set him off?
How should I say this? Dettlaff doesn't understand men, their world, its rules, its conventions. He's naive in a sense. He doesn't comprehend your games, knows not what it means to lie, deceive.
Suggesting he's maladjusted and venting his rage.
I'm suggesting maladjustment can at times breed conflict. But is it the case this time? I cannot say, but intend to find out.
Gotta find him before something upsets him even more, and all Beauclair is awash with blood.
Well, we share a cause then, just like the old days.
Not entirely. I mean, when I find him, you know.
I know you've a contract on his head. Yet your true task is to stop the beast killing, not necessarily to kill the beast, am I right?
All in all, sure.
Let us find him. By the time we do, I hope I'll have convinced you Dettlaff is no monster.
Fine, all right already. But for now, evidence is stacking up against him.
Hear that?
The posse. Knights must have tracked me here.
I'd prefer they not find me here. I'd makeshift quarters at Mère Lachaise Long Cemetery. We'll meet there.
See you.
Not that sneaky if you leave like a fucking smoke trail.
Witcher, we flew
That
here as
cloud
fast as our course
escaping out the window.
Yet I fear we're late all the same. Pray, where is the beast?
Still investigating. About to inspect this site. Withdraw your men before they trample all over the evidence.
Sirs, we must let the Witcher do his work. Milton's murder cannot go unavenged.
He killed the French homie. Oh, I didn't jump. How do they want me to get out of here? Oh, right through the fucking actual door. I thought that other door was the door. Like an idiot. These actually give you experience. Nothing else was giving me shit.
Around here, it's wine, wine, and more wine. But me, I prefer brandy.
Okay, nobody asked, but it's a cool guy.
Sir! A letter for you, sir!
Letter? Who from?
Can't rightly say, sir. I was just to deliver it.
Here. And thanks.
No, sir. Thank you. And I truly hope I'll be of service again.
See you later, little weirdo.
Dearest.
I suspect weighty affairs, rather than merely the wine festival, have drawn you to Toussaint. Perhaps you'll find time to probe a certain matter in spite of this. I recently came across the mention of one Professor Moreau, a scholar in Beauclair, who conducted research into Witcher mutations. Though the details are rather murky, as is the location of the scholar's laboratory, his journal could contain more information. It lies buried with him in his tomb. I enclose a map I found in the book I happened upon. Though less than completely legible, I trust it will prove useful nonetheless. I felt this matter could prove of some importance to you, thus I dispatched this letter without delay. Whatever you decide, please take exceedingly good care of yourself. Your Yen.
A professor who studied Witcher mutations. Might actually be worth looking into.
All is in order!
Lox Seravi. Might be worth looking into. Nice tune.
Disperse! The exhibition of the Reginald Daubry monument will remain closed. I won't go. Please disperse! The exhibition is closed.
What's this about?
Oh, Lapiote, give me strength. I can't bear this, please! I believe I've been clear. No presentation today. Oh, wait! Are you not that famous witcher, Geralt of Rivia? I believe I have work for you.
Saw your notice. Mentioned a monument.
The matter is a delicate one, but mind you, I pay well. Alas, I can say no more at this stage. Interested?
The statue. Just tell me, what's the problem?
A picture's worth 1,000 words. More, I dare say. Come with me. I'll show you.
God damn it.
Here it is. Our pride and joy, Reginald Daubry. A giant among lovers. A poking, puncturing swordsman. And atop all that, an unrifled diddler of harps.
A diddler of harps. This dude's a G. I like it.
So what's wrong with it?
How should I put this? It's lost its jewels.
Oh, they took his dick. We cannot
Somebody
have a
stole
diddler
the
without his dick.
testicles off a statue.
No ordinary statue, mind you. The sole monument made using a cast of the great Reginald's own genitals.
Oh my god, it's
Certified
modeled
and
after his
authentic.
real dick. Not today, criminals.
Sprung directly
Not
from
today.
his loins, they grant all who stroke them unparalleled virility.
Oh my god, and you
All
people
who I
rub
think
them? Oh no. We're not robbing the people of rubbing
must
those
retrieve
statue
those
balls.
stones.
Get right on it.
Got any suspects?
Considering the vast potency of Reginald's prized pouch, Everyone's a suspect. Who would not want it for himself?
Any idea when the theft took place?
It must have been mere hours ago. I guided the last group through the exposition quite recently. Stones were very much in place.
Yeah, see, you know what's up, warrior. I can't let this go down. They stole his dick, dude.
Need to look around. Might find a clue or two.
Do what you must, as long as you return grasping Reginald's stones. Without them, Beauclair's entire tourist sector faces trying times.
All the tourists show up to rub this statue's balls. That's
Sorry,
fucking
Reginald, don't
weird.
worry.
These people are weird. I don't like this place.
Saw marks are straight and clean. Precision castration, I'd call this.
Precision castration.
It will all work out.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It must.
Oh, there's a little bit of ball left right here.
On the nail. Heavy on cologne. Smell it'll lead me to the thief.
Quite a fragrant way to guess such a...
Don't crowd around.
The Duchess summoned him. I wonder what for.
We've seen the day come when our culture is threatened by the very means of its own cultural reproduction.
Scent leads to this door.
Oh, he's fucking going at it. He rubbed the shit out of those statue balls. Shit. He's taking all the statue ball for himself. Yeah, get it in,
Sorry
old
to
man.
interrupt, I guess.
Oh, it's the fucking Peller, dude.
This is not what this is.
Dude,
Word of honor. I tripped, rolled, and tumbled, and landed where she already lay.
Psst! Hughes! That's not him!
I swear, this is all an unfortunate coincidence. A series thereof. What?
That's not my husband!
You mean, not your husband?
Did they just use the same
Why are you
face
in
model?
my home? Out! Now! Or I'll summon the guards!
Give me those statue balls, bitch. I don't like your tone.
Watch your tone, Gramps. Just here to talk.
I believe we have nothing to talk about.
Oh, we do. We do. Just to kick things off, you're in great form for a man your age.
I eat well, start the day with a glass of wine. That preserves the body wonderfully.
Interesting. Might try it. Say, ever heard of Reginald Dobry, his statue?
His fucking statue balls, you old man.
Reginald's a paragon, a national hero.
That's so. You seem well informed, Hughes. Maybe you know who stole Reginald's testicles.
I can explain everything.
Yeah.
This...
Give us those
Rosalinda,
testicles.
I know you're in there. You and that fancy pants of yours.
Oh no, not him too. This really is not my day.
Got you, you rogue! Prepare for a shellacking, scallop! What the laugh's this?
Yeah, we were running a train on her, surprise.
One, I could forgive you. But two, one time!
Wait, got nothing to do with this.
Take me for a fool? I'll teach you to fish in another man's pond.
I didn't fuck your wife, bruh.
Got no time for this. Go home.
Yes. That could be best. I'm done here.
Oh yeah, you are. Be glad I don't want to fuck your wife. Cause I could have just done that and sent you home, bitch.
I don't know.
Made you
That
watch.
would have gone horribly for me had you not intervened. I thank you for saving my skin.
Give me the fucking balls, bitch.
So, time to talk.
Rosalinda, my dove, please allow us a moment.
She's crazy.
All right.
Likes that old man.
I admit I stole the stones, and you will never believe it, but they work. Today, Rosalinda and I, well, 3 times and counting.
3 times?
Yeah, fucking
impressive.
Isn't it? At my age. That's more than the entire last decade.
All the same, you stole those stones and you gotta return them.
Why couldn't you just go rub the statue balls and then go home and fuck her?
Listen,
in town.
Perhaps we might strike a deal. Hmm? Let me keep the stones. I'll pay you. Grant me this, I beg you. They've made me young again.
Shit. Should I fucking let old man keep smashing on this young girl and keep the balls?
Perhaps I could lend them to you for 1 more day. What would you say to that?
A day is 3 more romps at the least. You've a deal, sir.
I'm no savage, sir. Let you have 1 more day of statue ball sex. Don't mind me. Yeah, fuck it up, old man. Proud of you. Oh, they locked the door. Alright. You do your thing, old guy. I'm gonna go do some quests. You good, homie? Oh, these people are fucking sick. Last night in the street. Touch the statue balls.
I imagine you've been all over Gracie. Blood. Can you bet? Are you waiting to get slapped? I was to get.
My eyes were not deceived. Yet so far south. You, sir, of all folk in all your fame.
Mm-hmm. Me, south in all my fame.
Oh, I've heard so much. Why, when Master Dandelion tarried in Beauclair, not a day passed without him baying out a ballad in admiration of your deeds.
Yeah, unwelcome little habit of his. But, what can I do for you?
You see, my betrothed, Francois Le Goff, vowed in my honor to bring me the head of the horrid beast they call Gretore.
Couldn't have gotten you a bouquet, some sweets in a bag?
Witcher, sir, you jest. A love most true demands proof through heroic deeds dedicated to the heart's captor. But alas, Francois has been gone a fortnight. Thus I must plead with you to see what's become of him.
Oh
Could
no,
you?
Francois started playing Fortnite.
Would you?
Rarely my wont to turn down a damsel in distress, even less so when there's a prize involved.
Ah, naturally. Why, you, sir, are no knight-errant, but a guildsman, an expert. How much would you need? Yes, that amount I am prepared.
do my damnedest to get your fiancé back safe and sound. Just, mind telling me where to look for him?
I forget you come from afar and do not know our land. They say Graturi has its lair in the caves at the foot of the Gorgon Hills.
That close to the city? Telling me no bold souls have ventured out to defeat the beast?
Quite the contrary. Plenty have, but none's returned. My concern is well-founded.
I see. All right.
Hope your husband's not dead. See ya. Ooh, this quest is gonna fucking kill me. I don't want to go there. 45? Yeah, definitely not ready for that. Let's just go find that fucking whatever. Bullshit.
What do you reckon? How long will I have the runs off that roast back?
Fucking treasure. Love treasure. That was the treasure. Don't do anything stupid. Shit, that dude's crying. Awkward. Oh my god, they're all crying. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. I'm just fucking throwing up. Oh my god. Let's get this treasure and get the fuck out. What are you even looking for?
Ah!
Oh god. Oh yeah, treasure static. Let's rob some graves. Ooh, a honey croissant. buy my armor and shit in this. Get all that fresh fruit they store in graveyards. Seems like a trap or something.
Better to die of drink than of boredom.
Come to visit your grandpa's grave, I guess.
What the poking devils? Who are you? Who sent you?
So many questions, so few answers.
Blimey, we're the plodding philosopher. Get the smarmy cat diddler, lads.
Dude, cat diddler? Dude,
I
these
only had a
dudes
crown for every time a bunch
are
like
some
this.
high-class people talking about diddling. Ooh, fuck. I've never seen diddle used so much in the game. It's the best DLC ever. Just stop by to kill those guys. Shit, there can be only one. I'm going through some of the DLC. Fancy French city. And they say diddler a lot.
What's going on here?
They've been pretty sick so far. They had some statue And someone stole the balls off it. Because if you rub the statue's balls, it makes your dick big. I lent it to some old man for a day so he could fuck some young lady. Some gentleman. Sick. Talked himself.
Inscriptions in Elder speech. Salvation lies not in Dol Nevde, but in our hearts. Glory be to Eldarin. Damn. Professor's journal's long gone. Guess somebody else found out about it too. Should look around, see if I can find something else.
Well, no, they stole the balls so they could have all that fucking big dick power for themselves and fuck their young girlfriend.
Footprints, narrow and shallow.
And I needed him back, so I said I'd lend it to him for a day so he could smash.
Wonder where they lead.
So he's laying the pipe right now.
Professor certainly can't do much to help me with my search. Damn it, trail breaks off. Wonder if the grave robber learned more than I did. Won't learn anything else here. Map Yensen me will have to do. Also, Epitaph mentioned both Hellurin and Dol Nevde, Valley of the Nine.
Was this the map?
Someone needs an escort. Not something I do often, but might be worth investigating.
Place is way more like civilized and fancy than like the places you see around in
Ow!
Oh, they're back because I rested. I'm an idiot. Oh, bitch. Oh, bitch.
You the look of a knife.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're to kiss the ground you walk on, is that it? But you just did your diddly witcherly duty.
Diddly witcher duty. These dudes are sick. Talk about diddly. Oh, what? I didn't want to take that shit off. No, but they've said diddle a lot. Like, oh, and that statue guy, they said he's a great diddler on the harp, and I'm like, sick. So that's why I gotta get his balls back. Can't have diddler out there without his dick, you know. You'll have to go back and check that part when they're talking about it. What the fuck? Ah, fuck. Oh my god. I don't know what this is. We're not fighting.
Damn it. Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here. Die.
Obviously the way to go, so let's just look around a little. What was that, my medallion or something? Did that say pug lover? Can I read all these gravestones? Okay, there's a jump down. Ow, what a setup! What the fuck is this? Sliding down.
Moors. And fiddles aplenty around here.
Ow, ow, you little bastard. Fuck. Why does this dude have to pick fucking... Meet me in the craziest place ever. Yeah, you bastard.
Some stench.
Oh my god! Holy fuck, dude, I fucking pissed off the bomb. All the babies and he didn't like that. Yeah, these people love saying diddle. It's fucking sweet. Good over here.
Someone placed an illusion here. Interesting.
Sword, bruh. Just have to drop that bad boy. Oh, it's still too heavy? Wow. Okay, sell that. I have this just heavy. Oh. There we go. I keep saying I need to go sell shit and then I don't go sell anything.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megoscope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlar's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here. Guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Dettlar. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name. Resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlar was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope Resonance will reveal the location of Dettlar's hideout.
Get these bacons, buddy. No, not the bugs, the bacons. Eat it. Better eat these. Okay, come on, buddy. Dude, I'm the worst. So fucking people brought furniture over today, and I had to lock Baxter in the room, and I forgot I put him in the room.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory.
I'm
Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlar's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands. The closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
I'm sorry, Baxter. I forgot. You should have barked sooner, Bubbas.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
So, think you've set a nice little trap for me? Sorry. Want to get me to confess? Gonna have to try harder.
I love a challenge. In that case, my ears are cocked. What must I do?
How about you get the ball rolling? Reveal one of your secrets. Vampires, intriguing creatures, must lead fascinating lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand or move on my own. Dettlaff bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cirilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ooh. Seemed I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now. Gotta ask you the big question. One everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well-founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Dettlaff, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Got a new life, new body. That give you a new start? Blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Dettlaff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with the living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
Berbers.
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
Seer determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a witcher. Just refused to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Hold on, sorry.
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt. I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brew.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as...
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right.
And to you, my friend.
So I hit this motherfucker with some frost. Get fucked up, strange. Oh, it's a fucking panther? What the fuck? Oh my god. Fudge, bitch. Panther?
Are knights errant? They're so heroic. Stinky.
Go, go. Whoa there, Roach.
Oh.
The high and mighty northern.
Sorry.
Little dunglicker.
Come on now.
Mouth's dry as a stockfish.
You in a hurry?
Feast till the wine barrels run dry.
Whoa there, Roach.
Oh hell no, this thing's gonna fuck me up. Oh bitch. Come back to that later. Oh, what the fuck happened? Run, you stupid horse.
Regis says Raven wasn't lying. Spoons all over the place.
Holy shit, dude.
Message. Trying to tell me something.
Fuck, dude. This dog monster's almost fucked me up. likes his spoons.
None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around. What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship. Must have graced a rich man's table. She was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe? No spoon you have shall say to you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Spoon key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic. Claw or fang marks. Probably choked to death. Broken neck. Indentation in the skull's lateral surface. Smacked in the head with something heavy. Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Cauldron I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Spoon, pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Table's set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse, and it's been trying desperately to lift it. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. Regis needs some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Thousands of them here. White's been a collector for years.
Phobos, you're laying right under me. I stepped on you.
Not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it. Tried to bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you. Need to get this right. Words of the curse were, none shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
use spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons.
You should have seen the fucking quest about the statue with the dick that someone stole. I gotta go get that statue and get it back.
Open your eyes. You need to see your likeness. Expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't be hard to find given its stench. Easy. Not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
I'll take you someplace safe. So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here. I'm deeply pleased, finally, to make your acquaintance, sir, though I do regret the specific circumstances. In all the commotion, I fear I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Barnabas Basil-Fawlty, and by order of the Duchess, I am to serve as your major domo at Corvo Bianco.
Nice to meet you, Barnabas Basil. Love to talk more, but got urgent matters to attend to. While I'm gone, please make sure she gets everything she needs.
Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought this about?
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry. To neglect the custom is to bring great misfortune down upon oneself.
Marlena didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs than to give the beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts, he swore no one would ever wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons, and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so. But, most importantly, it is now over. Please, don't worry. She will be in good hands here.
She's kind of a bitch.
Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Kedweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck, and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide, in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a...
Not in the least. Follow me, please. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Oh yeah.
Pretty vast.
My house.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interest.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos. My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going, and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to major domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path. The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays. Follow me, please. Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful. especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
Dude, I have fucking peacocks. Sick.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days. Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda. Monsieur Bolius' wife Nina kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation.
This week of cribs, check out my vineyard.
Follow me,
bitch.
please. Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
Follow me, please. Follow me, please. Follow me, please. This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
Follow me, please. The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
Follow me, please. As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative... With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. If Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification...
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide... Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Got these spacious grounds.
Oh, yes. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be what?
In my...
Of course.
Then send...
Of course. Will you be needing...
My... Good.
Will you be needing any...
Starting to get into...
I agree. Yet I would urge you to hold off on further construction until the ongoing work is done. Juggling can be a challenging...
Been thinking...
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? Not only did the rest...
That's...
Alright, I think I need to go get those balls from that fucking dude. I let him fucking borrow the balls for a day so he could smash his young slut. I need to go get him back. Let's see. Cost. I think after I finish this quest line, I'm gonna stop the stream and eat and relax a bit. I might play like another hour or two later, but I need to eat. Let's get these balls back.
Never you worry. The air here is such that one is never hungover.
Nice tune.
You all good, old man?
back.
Shh. Not so loud. You'll wake her. She'll want another go.
Wake who? Rosalinda?
Louisa, her cousin.
He fucked her cousin too. This kid's a mutt.
Inexhaustible appetite, but I'm tapped
This old man's out of control, dude.
What's it matter that the spirit is willing when the flesh is simply spent? My heart near leapt out of my chest last time. Here, you must take the testes, and Lebioda grant you strength, as I dare say you will need it.
Fuck yeah. Got these balls.
Yes, a face no ointment could help.
A witcher. For smearing his honey.
Oh!
What's up, dude? I got that dick back.
Well, have you recovered Reginald's family jewels?
Yep, got them back.
Lepioda's luscious lips, it's them! It's really them! I hope this modest reward nonetheless conveys the extent of my gratitude. And look in on us tomorrow for the grand reopening. You shall stroke Reginald at no charge. On the
I
house.
can touch his balls for free. Alright, I'm gonna call it here and go eat.